Girl, you've learned that people-pleasing doesn't work. You have a purpose, a plan to achieve, and a point time for your passion projects. You finally value your thoughts and ideas. Now you're putting them into action. Mom guilt is in a box where it belongs. You care for those who need you completely, except that you've made yourself a priority too. Being creative and focused helps you get your zest for life. You, my friend, you think enriched. Hey, welcome to Think Enriched. I'm your host, Amy Robles. Today, we're just going to dive right in how it's important, especially right now. We're finishing up the year. We've got a lot of things going on. You need a plan. Get that in your purse. Today, we add another power tool to your purse. Check out the Passion Planner. This is the planner where you're able to write down exactly what works for you, exactly how not only the hourlies, what you're going to do hour by hour, but also the big goals and the different things. You know, I've spent thousands of dollars on planners, literally, since probably high school. It's been very important to me to have a written planner. And I remember when the Palm Pilots came out, I tried it. I've tried to use my iPhone. It just doesn't work for my brain. And I'm understanding, and I've just really put in some time trying to learn even more about this, that you need to write it down. When you get your passion planner, the first few pages are about your passion romance. No, just kidding. It's about your passion roadmap. I totally screwed that up. Okay, so your passion roadmap is what you use when you make your wish list of really what could you be? What could you become? What is the dream? And you are listening to this, you think enriched, you understand how important it is to see where you are and where you're growing and how you're developing and how you're becoming the best you that you can be. Once you have that and you have the different components of your life, you have the goals, the different things that are really, really important to you, then you take that and you incorporate that into your specific week. I love it. You have your monthly focus, you have important people that you need to see, things that you need to do. And then I love this. They have this box where it is your not to-do list. Oh my gosh. How many of us have that not to-do list where you're like, I do not want to waste my time doing that again? The Passion Planner has been an incredible tool for me. I got my first one in July. I have given a couple as gifts. I have bought another one because I want a fresh start for the new year. Even though my first one that I bought in July is still going on, I just am excited because I see how it works and I want this right size for me. I got to tell you, I started first with the classic size and it's big and it'd be perfect if I carried a backpack with me all the time. And it's perfect if you've got school books or you've got that 8.5 by 11 or you just want to write big. And I've been waffling back and forth. Maybe I'll just get the smaller, maybe I won't. And I do. I write big and it's bold and it's colorful, but it works for my brain. And so I got the smaller one. I'm going to try that for the next 6 months. And then next summer, I really think I'm going to get my third one, the full size, keep going, try to figure out which one is the right fit for me. The Passion Planner has been an incredible tool for me. It's just helped me so much. If you decide that the Passion Planner is what you want for yourself for the holidays, it's what you want to give yourself just to start out 2017 with your best year ever. You deserve it. You work so hard. Girl, you give to so many people. Take a couple minutes, order yourself a Passion Planner. When you use the promo code AROBLES10, you receive a 10% discount on your purchase. Now, when you go to the show notes, you'll see all of that, AROBLES10, and that'll give you the discount right at the end when you check out. And I went through and tested to make sure that it works, just there for you. Give yourself the gift of organization. getting those crazy thoughts that are running through your brain like crazy, get them down, written down on paper, and girl, get that in your purse. Speak the lingo. Today's term is priority. I've looked up a lot of definitions. It's there in the show notes for you. The one that stands out to me is the right to precede others in order, rank, privilege, and so on. It's setting that precedence. A lot of times there's a lot of little tiny things that need to be done, and we need to take care of this. We need to help this person. We need to do these things that we forget to make ourselves a priority. And I've noticed that once I figured that out, I put myself on my priority list, actually wrote down the things I needed to do just for me, just for my sanity, just to be me 100%. All of a sudden, I had more energy to give. I had more love and more patience and more kindness for others. What I've noticed is when you make yourself a priority, you become the star that you really are in your own life. And as I was reading this definition, it just made me realize that you have the right to precede others in order, in rank, and privilege. You enjoy the right to give your most important focus and time to the most important people or projects that you're working on in your life. Now, if that does not match, then you have a real difficult time. That's where a lot of stress comes in. That's where a lot of people suffer with frustration and that intense stress, that pressure, because they feel like they should be doing this because it's one of their priorities. They just haven't made it a priority in their time, in their calendar, in their schedule. The idea that keeps running through my mind is it's like that line at Disneyland. You're standing in line. It is that hot summer sun. You're not sweating, girl. You're glistening. You look fabulous. But you're standing in the line at Disneyland. You get to decide who gets the fast pass. Who's the one that gets to jump to the front of your line? Who's the one that gets your attention right now? If you give your time by listening to them, if you give your time by reading their work, their focus, whatever it is, that's your priority. Today's term, priority.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Habits of excellence. This week's habit of excellence is write it down. If it's a goal, a shopping list, a system, the next 10 things you've got to accomplish, those final gifts you've got to get wrapped, just make a list. Just write it down so you can check it off. A quote by Michael LeBlou says, "When you write down your ideas, you automatically focus your full attention on them. Few, if any of us, can write one thought and think another at the same time. Thus, a pencil and paper make excellent concentration tools." There's a fantastic article in Life Hack that shares why it's important to write it down. I've got that in the show notes if you'd like to read that. But the broad stroke says, it clears your mind for higher level thinking. A lot of times, especially as women, especially taking care of so many other people, we've got all of these little tiny things. Do they have their sippy cup? Do they have this taken care of? Can we help them with their homework? Do we get dinner already prepped and ready and made? We don't give ourselves the freedom to think of the big things, those big goals, those projects that we want to accomplish, and those things that we're really working toward. That's the main thing that stood out to me. There's a lot of other tips in that article. I've got that in the show notes. This week's habit of excellence, just write it down. You're going to save yourself a lot of time. Now, I know you. You want to achieve those goals. You're looking to advance and progress and make more of who you are. This is important to you. And progress to you may be different than what it means to me. That's the beauty of all of this. You've got to have a plan to be able to achieve that. And by taking time, writing it down, you are not only giving yourself one gift, you're giving yourself two. You're giving yourself the gift of clarity and the gift of focus. First, the clarity. Sometimes I think our minds are so overloaded, and by having those one or two different things, then it's easy to see, okay, I said I'm going to go and I'm going to get that workout in, but man, I've got this to do and this to do, but it's written down. You have that clarity. You're giving yourself the gift of saying, oh yeah, I made this a priority. They got the fast pass to get up here first. This is the most important thing. I can get to those others. If we're not careful, we can easily say, well, these is important and this important. I told that person I'd give them a call, and lose ourself. A lot of times as women, we do not make ourself the priority that we need to be in our own lives. And instead of being helpful to our others, we're actually sacrificing ourselves. And that's a big thing that I'm learning about myself and how I can progress and improve. I know that I've seen that in other people's lives, and just figuring that out is so important. The other gift that you're giving yourself is focus. You can plan on Monday that the week is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. But by Thursday afternoon, you haven't attacked any of those goals that need to be done. I know I have been there. Kids get sick. Things don't get accomplished. Somebody needs help. There's an emergency. Somebody gets injured. People that you're taking care of need your help. And that's just the way life's going to work. That's not going to change. So it's so important to have your plan, your focus, your direction taken care of. So then once you've gotten these things taken care of that needed to be done, then you can turn your focus on, oh yeah, I need to go back and get step 1, 2, and 3 done. These were my goals that I wanted to accomplish this week. This is what I need to have happen. That's what's been so helpful for me, having this written planner, going through step by step so I can just check off these different goals. I've been really working, and I have a mastermind where I turn in my challenges and goals and tasks that I wanted to accomplish. And by having it written down every day, I know I've got 90 minutes to work at the computer. Here's what I've got to have happen, and it's getting done. That's the number one thing that's helped me so much. Now, maybe you've never used a written planner before. I completely understand that. I love having the goals for the month and the week set up before I start the week or that month. And then at the end, I can evaluate, okay, what really went well? Where can I improve? What are the specific things that helped me achieve these goals? Another thing that's been really helpful for me about having this written planner, writing things down and going old school, analog, whatever you want to call it, is I have my spending tracker right there with me. So when I have a couple of the different things that I've been wondering about, where, I thought we had 50 more bucks in the account. Oh yeah, I had to go get 3-4 different items, and then I can make sure that matches, right? There's a lot of times where you look at your bank account at the end of the week and you're like, what happened? If you don't keep track, you'll never know. Just having all of that together in the one place has been really, really influential for me. Another reason that writing things down is ideas come to my mind and I need to write them right there. I've tried keeping those little tiny thin notebooks with me, and they're so flimsy that it's hard for me to write down. And especially if I'm standing in the checkout line and I think, man, that would be a really good blog post. Or I could take this component of the blog post and use it on the podcast. Those different ideas. This is how my mind is working. And if the notebook is flimsy, then I really don't have space to write it down. With a nice planner, I can support and get the notes written down in the way that I remember. I see those keywords that target my mind and get it going. And then the final way that I really love using a written planner is as I'm thinking of different things, or I'm listening, or I'm writing on the calendar the different dates, in the corner I might start drawing just a little palm tree or a little pattern. And I've got all these doodles around, and they don't mean anything to anyone. And quite honestly, they really don't mean anything to me, except that my mind is just, I've learned that's called cognitive anchoring. When I'm processing something in my mind, the doodling just is something that I can focus on while really I'm learning so much and taking it in. When I write down a note and I say, call this person, I remember in my mind, not only that I wrote it down, I remember, oh yeah, it's on the page in the corner by the palm tree. I needed to call and we needed to talk about 1, 2, 3, these 3 different things, that sort of thing. Well, you're never going to get that on a digital product. You're never going to be able to do that on an app. It's just not the way it works. And so those are just the first few reasons that having a plan, writing things down in a written planner has been really, really effective for me. And I teach women how I run the components of my business, of the podcast, of working with my church group, of running the meetup in the area, of all of these different components of my life in my planner and how I keep on top and make sure everything is accomplished. And I share a lot of those secrets in the Enriched Woman 90 coaching program that I share. You can find out more of that you click on the notes. It's starting in January. We're accepting applications and I'm really excited with the way the program's running. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. I just am so grateful to be back on the microphone sharing with you. I'm loving the feedback that I'm getting. Please go to thinkenrich.com/coach and learn more about Enriched Woman 90. Have a great week. I hope you accomplish everything you've set out to do because you, girl, you think enriched. And right here I have it. It's the link. Oops.